the high-definition digital production center on the Troy campus, with news from Troy University locations around the world. This is Troy TrojanVision Nightly News.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision Nightly News for April 28, 2014. I am Caitlin Crow.
And I'm Amanda Ford. Thank you for joining us this evening. The home of the Trojan softball team has seen some big changes this year, and on Saturday, all of the renovations culminated in a dedication ceremony for the new facility. Haley Greathouse has the story.
This weekend was the official dedication of the Dodd Center at the Troy Softball Complex. The Dodd Center is an 8,000-foot facility housing a player locker room, player lounge, an athletic training room, and hitting and pitching areas. The Dodd Center was named after Mike and Cindy Dodd for their dedication to Troy softball and athletics.
We started with a small donation and just kind of built it up and got to know the girls, and I just fell in love with them. And so it just kind of got the wheels spinning, and this is what we have.
The center was just one part of the softball renovations, which also included an updated press box and several renovations to the field.
We have completed a softball facility now that is on par with the very best collegiate softball facilities in the country.
Troy University hopes that the new renovations to the facility will serve as an incentive for future athletes.
We hope that not only will it serve to inspire more fan support, but we think that it'll play a role in recruiting. I think it was a great coach that once said that coaching used to be about X's and O's, but today it's about recruiting, and facilities are so important in that process of recruitment.
Overall, Troy University just wants to support their athletes.
We were able to support these student athletes and the staff at a level that they deserve.
Haley Greathouse, Troy TrojanVision News.
This weekend saw the final home games at the complex this season. Danielle Percival will let us know how the team did later in sports.
The square in downtown Troy looked more like a craft bazaar as the streets were filled with residents enjoying the arts and crafts of Troy Fest. Casey Freeman has the story.
This weekend, the city of Troy held its 12th annual Troy Fest on the downtown square. The Troy Fest is for the community to come together and enjoy different types of art.
Each year we welcome hundreds of vendors, including artists, Kid Corner participants, Community Corner participants, and food vendors. So we're really excited about this year's festival.
We have a beautiful van festival, all kind of art and food, and the people is just so wonderful, nice.
Vendors came to Troy to display and sell some of their artwork.
This year we've had a main focus on our folk artists and our artists in our fine arts gallery, so we've included a lot of great artists from all over the southeast.
Well, we're enjoying Troy Fest. We came down as vendors. My wife and I own Eclect Art Studios, and we're just soaking up the sun and the atmosphere.
Some people have been participating in the Troy Fest for years, and for some, this was their first time attending Troy Fest.
I've never been here. And it's just a really fun way of all the local vendors and everyone just kind of getting together and having this really nice festival just over what everything Troy has to offer for us.
I love their food. Their food is amazing, and they sell like these really pretty picture frames, and it's like they're really great, and they come with cheap prices. So I love coming here, and I love seeing my friends that like move far away.
I love it. It's to get out the house. Senior citizens getting out the house.
Casey Freeman, Troy TrojanVision News.
Troy Fest is held every year on the last weekend of April. Well, Troy University has a large number of students who don't originally call the United States home.
And making the transition to a different culture can be interesting from some international students. Jamie Lawson takes a look at some of those differences in the eyes of students from China.
Hao Yu Ma is really enjoying his experience in the United States of America. There are a couple of different things that have been hard for him to get used to.
The Chinese food the best. I mean, to myself, to be honest, I don't think the mind is a many difficult thing to get used to. But the stomach is not easy to satisfy with.
Moving to the United States of America from China is not the easiest thing to do. Western civilization is a big change.
The favorite thing about America is its environment. I mean, new land. It's a young country. We still have lots of trees here. I mean, but there are not a lot of plants back to China. I mean, every land we can use, we plant some agriculture stuff on there, because we have 1.4 billion population.
The rules in China on the internet are a bit different than here in the United States.
Like the Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, you cannot get into that website in China because the Chinese government dislike those kind of things.
Ma has done really well at adjusting to this new lifestyle and culture. Jamie Lawson, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Chinese students make up the largest segment of Troy's international student body.
And now taking a look at news from around the state. In Mobile, police say a homeowner fatally shot an intruder during an attempted burglary. Mobile Police Department spokeswoman Ashley Rain says a man was apparently trying to burglarize a house when he was fatally shot yesterday morning near the home's front door.
And also in Mobile, more than 8 years after Hurricane Katrina, work is finally underway to remove some abandoned boats from South Alabama waterways. The nonprofit Dog River Clear Water Revival and area residents have obtained grant money to remove 24 boats. They say the boats are dangerous for anyone navigating the waterways. The 24 boats will be removed by May 22nd.
In Burnsville, authorities say they are investigating a train crash that killed a driver on Friday. 34-year-old Candace Solomon Vice was killed when the Chevrolet Tahoe she was riding in was struck by a train on Alabama Highway 14 and Dallas County Road 826.
And still to come on TrojanVision Nightly News, it was a busy weekend on Troy's campus, including a first this season for the Trojan softball team. Daniel Percival will be in with the details coming up in sports. Now, Daniel Percival joins us with sports. So, Danielle, the softball team was able to dedicate their new field and pull out a couple of wins along the way over the weekend.
Well, that's right, Amanda. Big weekend for them, of course, over at the softball complex. Big weekend in Trojan athletics here on campus. We'll get into a recap of all the action here in sports. The Trojan softball team celebrated Senior Day in a big way Sunday, winning their first conference series of the year. The Trojans split Saturday's doubleheader before taking a 2-0 victory on Sunday to clinch the series against Texas State. The Trojans shut out the Wildcats in both wins this weekend. All three seniors pitched in on Sunday with a hit, with Erica Wright hitting a triple, Taylor Smart a double, and Casey McAllister recording a single. Ashley Rainey earned the win after allowing just 3 hits over 4 innings, and Sarah Mock earned the save after tossing 1 2/3 innings in relief. The Trojans will close out the regular season with a doubleheader on Saturday at South Alabama. The Trojan baseball team was looking to win a conference series as well, but as Mitchell Spoon shows us, UT Arlington edged out the Trojans in the final game.
The Troy baseball team entered the series with UT Arlington on a 3-game losing streak, but were hopeful to turn that around in Game 1. But the Mavericks had other plans. In Game 1, UT Arlington used a strong 4th and 5th inning to score 7 total runs en route to an 11-6 victory. Head coach Bobby Pierce said the big plays hurt them the most.
Going back to Friday was a game that we couldn't keep the ball in the park against this club. They hit, I think, 4 homers in the game. Really kind of stretched the lead out. We did come back and made a good rally to come back and tie the game, but they stretched it back on us.
In Game 2, however, the Trojan bats suddenly became hot. In Game 2, it was Troy who had 2 big innings, coming in the 2nd and the 4th, where the Trojans scored 9 total runs en route to an 11-8 victory. Junior David Hall nailed a grand slam in the 2nd inning to make his 9th home run of the season.
He's been one of our most consistent offensive players. We haven't had enough guys with that type of consistency in our lineup this year, but Dave has been that, and he's put some big weekends together.
Game 3, the Trojans and Mavericks played what Pierce called a classic competitive game. Troy would get on the board in the bottom of the opening inning thanks to a David Hall single, but it was the 5th inning again that got the Trojans in a bad situation. The Mavericks scored 4 runs from Levi Scott's triple and a John Michael Twitchell 2-run home run. Troy would score 3 runs in the bottom of the 5th, but in the 8th inning, the Mavericks would steal the game when Matt Shortle singled up the middle, scoring Eric Tate and taking the game 6-5.
Both teams played extremely hard. Both teams exchanged blows back and forth. They came out 1 run better in today's game, but I feel like we competed well.
Mitchell Spoon, Troy, TrojanVision Sports.
The Trojans are scheduled to be back in action at home tomorrow night taking on UAB, but with the inclement weather forecasted in the area tomorrow, you may want to keep an eye out for any delays. First pitch tomorrow night is scheduled for 6 p.m. And continuing all the home action, the track and field team was in action at the Jesse H. Colley Track Complex for the 14th annual Coach O Invitational this weekend. The Trojans captured 9 first-place finishes on Saturday, including Karina Cox winning the women's discus and Zach Douglas taking the top spot on the men's side. The Trojans sprint team continued to put up impressive marks, including Benjamin Martin taking 2 first-place finishes and breaking his own school record in the 100-meter dash with a time of 10:26. Both men's relay teams won their respective events as well. Director of Track and Field Jill Lancaster said being at home does create an advantage for the team.
Performance-wise, we always have a lot of people breaking out at our home meet, and we saw that today. There's nothing better than being at home, and I thought they represented well. We have some on the verge of breaking out, but we know when that's coming. You can see it. So we're very, very proud, and obviously at the end of the day, when you're hosting a meet, it's tough on coaches. It's great for the athletes.
And this was the Trojans' final regular season meet of the year. The next competition on the schedule is the Conference Championships, which begin May 8th in San Marcos, Texas. So Caitlin, Amanda, big weekend for the softball team. Baseball, tough loss on Sunday, but then they've got the opportunity to come back tomorrow night in action at home against UAB. You want to keep an eye on the weather, though, because it's looking like it may be a rough couple of days here. So hopefully Jamarla will have some good news for us, but we'll have to see if that game's going to be able to be played or not.
Exactly. If they are able to play, even though the weather conditions could be bad, we don't know. We wish them the best of luck either way.
That's right. Hopefully we'll have some people out there to support the team.
Great. Thank you, Danielle.
Thanks.